When elected officials feel like they may not have the power anymore, they have two choices. They can either be more responsive to those they lead, or they can eliminate the people they have to answer to.
In a democratic republic like the United States of America, where citizens vote for politicians to represent their interests in government, participation is key. But for centuries, the right to vote in America has been under attack.
The right to vote is the only right you can lose for not using it. You can decide not to go hunting on a Saturday and you don't lose your Second Amendment rights, but in 9 states, it is the law of the land that you can lose your right to vote simply for not using it.
Following the American Civil War, African American men were finally recognized as U.S. citizens and granted the right to vote.
You start having Black elected officials in these amazingly high spaces where you would not have imagined them 20 years earlier.
For this reason, many Southern politicians affiliated with white supremacy began changing election laws to actively suppress ethnic minority voices.
Reconstruction was a high point for voting rights, and it was followed by nearly 100 years of Jim Crow.
Racist, anti-democratic Jim Crow laws included a prohibitive poll tax.
You can pay for food, or you can vote. You can pay for some clothes for your children, or you can vote.
And a literacy test that today's college-level law students cannot pass. When all else failed, those in positions of power resorted to violence, as when Maceo Snipes became the only African American to vote in the state of Georgia in 1946 and paid for the privilege with his life.
The message was really clear. You vote, you die.
In 1965, the Voting Rights Act made it illegal for states to deny citizens the vote on the basis of race, but not gender. It meant that by 1967, 60% of African Americans in Mississippi had registered to vote. But in 2013, the Supreme Court ruled that a key provision of the act was unconstitutional, opening the floodgates for a new wave of voter suppression tactics that are impacting American democracy today. Selective and restrictive ID laws are excluding many types of voters. Gerrymandering, or the redrawing of constituency boundaries, is giving some a stronger voice than others. And critics argue that the lawful purging of names from polling lists is leading to the removal of millions of eligible voters.
It's not going to be the courts that save us. It's not going to be the justices in their robes. It's got to be the people.
Why does America make it so hard to vote? And what can you do to change that?